Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alaihi. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasiran kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders and sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of you and me to the right path. What is the right path? The right path is the path that will lead you to become the lover of Allah. To become the lover of Allah is the aim of our life, should be. We should make the purpose of our life, the aim of our life is to become the lover of Allah. And in order to achieve that goal of ours, we should follow the path of those who have attained the status of the lover of Allah. And that is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and some prophets of Allah. There are very few among men who have achieved that purpose of life. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Prophet Ibrahim, all the Ulul Azmi, the prophets of Allah who are Ulul Azmi, Muhammad, Ibrahim, Noah, Isa and Musa. But actually that path doesn't belong to them only. It also belongs to the entire mankind. Each and every one of the entire mankind, if ever they follow that path of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of Ibrahim alaihi salam, they will lead to the aim. They will be able to achieve the purpose, the aim of their life, which is to become the lover of Allah. These are not known. These facts is not known to many, almost to all mankind. I think nobody has ever told them that the purpose of their life is to become the lover of Allah. Do you know, all of you? Before I told you, because all those people who are in front of me now doesn't know. They only know when I told them, and that is only a few months ago, a few years ago. I also do not know when I was following by Abdul Wahab, one of the seniors in the work of Jamaat Tabligh. They told us that the purpose of life is to do the work of dawah. The whole world knows. He was speaking in all the istima, in Raivin, that the purpose of life is to make the work of dawah, to do the work of dawah. Make the work of dawah the purpose of your life. He speaks in Urdu. और रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के काम है, हमारे के काम है. You know, he was saying that, make the work of Rasul to be our work and the purpose of our life. there's nobody else prior to him who have spoken matters regarding the purpose of our life. Never heard from anyone. The whole world was saying what is the purpose of life. Many so-called scholars say that the purpose Allah have created us is to worship Him. And so they in other words, they are telling the purpose of life is to obey Allah. That's his. So, by Shaykh Abdul Wahab was saying, the purpose of our life is to do the work of dawah. That's not purpose actually. Or to obey orders of Allah or to do the work of dawah is not the purpose. It's the path. They misunderstood between path and purpose. They were saying that the purpose is the path. Shaykh Abdul Wahab is saying the purpose is to do the work of dawah. All other scholars are saying the purpose is to obey the order of Allah. They are referring to the verse of the Quran. I've not created jinns and men except to worship me. Isn't it? Allah is saying in that way, is to worship me. But what did He want? What does He want when He said that? To worship me. It's not the path. It's not the purpose. It's the path to make me to become your lover. So the purpose of our life is not to obey. That is the path. To obey the order of Allah. To do the work of dawah. Or to obey the order, to worship Allah. Or to obey the order. It's not the purpose. It's a path. To achieve the purpose. These are not understood by almost the whole mankind. It is never mentioned in hadith. It is mentioned by Allah in hadith Qudsi. Make me my purpose. Make me your purpose. Make me your aims, maqsad. Make me your lover. See? Explicitly mentioned by Allah in Hadith Qudsi, but none has ever understood that the purpose of our life is to become the lover of Allah. The maqsad of our life is to become the lover of Allah. The aim of our life is the purpose of Allah. That is the meaning of the Hadith. But no one catch it. You know? Many people read it, and many people have spoken about it too. But they don't understand it. That's what I mean. Knowing is different from understanding. You may know it, but you don't understand what you're talking. So many people are telling and telling about hadith, verses of the Quran, to tell the people that they know. Yes, you know, but you don't understand what it means. So the tafseer of my Quran, I said the tafseer, the interpretation of the meaning of the Quran. What it means, all the translations of the Quran is the meaning of the Quran. The meaning of the words of Allah. But the interpretation of the meaning of the Quran is the understanding of it. That's what it means. The interpretation of the meaning of the Quran. If you know, you don't know. You don't understand, you cannot interpret. You know, but you don't understand. And so most people know, but they don't understand. Like that Hadith Qudsi, make me your purpose of life. Make me the aim of your life. Make me your lover. Allah is saying, in other words, your purpose of your life is to become my lover. No one has ever mentioned this. All the years I've done the work of Jamaat Tabligh, many years, for 40 years almost. When I was 21, I started to do the work of Tabligh, Jamaat Tabligh. I left Jamaat Tabligh only the Ishaq. Probably 2009, 19, be after 20, 30 years. Then, at that time, I also do not know. I only know that the purpose of my life is to become the lover of Allah after years after I've left the work of the Master. So how difficult it is to understand. And naturally, the level of our understanding of the words of Allah and the words of Rasul go along with the level of our faith towards Allah or iman towards Allah. The weaker our iman, the less we will be able to understand, or unable to understand if we have no iman at all. So the higher, the stronger the level of iman, and the higher will be our understanding of the words of Allah. So iman is actually the very most fundamental things that we need to be able to acquire or to attain. That's why there are 5 pillars of Islam or rukun of Islam, and there are 6 pillars of iman. All this while people are only mentioning it. They know there is 5 pillars of Islam and there is 6 pillars of iman. What it is, they don't know. They don't understand. They only teach, and everyone knows, 5 pillars of Islam and 6 pillars of iman. What it is, don't know. They know, but they don't understand. The difference is between knowing and able to understand. Almost the whole people in the whole world are only knows the 6 pillars and the 5 pillars of Islam and the 6 pillars of iman. But Allah give me the understanding of it, which no one has ever been given by Allah, the understanding of this very fundamental and the basic tenets of Islam. Nobody understands. I'm the first one, the whole world, who is telling that the 5 rukun of Islam is the rukun of actions, or is the works that we need to do. All so-called Muslim, or those who are the believers, or who have recited the great kalima, there is no God except Allah and Muhammad is Messenger, to all of them, they must practice and do the actions which are in the 5 pillars of Islam. And what is the 6 pillars of Iman? It is not actions. And then what it is? It is the outcome. The outcome of practicing the actions. They don't know this. The belief in Allah, the belief in the angels, the belief in the prophets, the belief in the book of Allah, the belief in the day of Qiyamah. Good and bad come from Allah. The 6 pillars of Iman is not actions, they are the outcomes. Have you ever heard from anybody? From anybody?
No.
From anybody? No. Why? Because they don't understand. Do you understand? So many things Allah have given me the understanding. Now when I edited my Quran again for the 3rd time, for the 2nd time, again I need to, what I've written before, there should be a little bit more deeper understanding. Why I didn't understand before? Why only now I understand it deeper? Because my iman when I was writing the Quran was not as strong as my iman when I'm editing the Quran now. Not that the whole Quran is wrong, but the finer points. When I will edit the Quran the next round, there will be more, little bit more. And there will be no end and no limit to understanding of the words of Allah. It has levels. So far, it can be said, so far, the one who has been given by Allah almost the highest level of understanding about the words of Allah is me, no anyone else. And the proof of what I've said is the Quran which I have interpreted and which are available in the market. Not that I close it. You can read it. I'm not lying. If I lie, I will not be brave enough to tell you to read it. I'll not be brave enough to expose it to the world if I have made things which I want to deceive and to tell lies. Because I'm telling the truth, and to the best of my understanding, what I've written is the truth, nothing but the truth. So I want people to read it, to know it. So that's why it is made known to the entire world. If anybody writing lies, you think they will make others to know? They will not dare to. You can see many groups who are practicing sect, what do you call it, who are not actually religion, which is actually a fraud, who are practicing something which is, only to their groups. They don't write books. Jamaat Tabligh, have they write any books on their works? Nobody knows what is inside the work of Jamaat Tabligh. It's all kept enclosed. No book is written. That shows they are not telling the truth. They are not doing the truth. Have you ever read a book about the work of Jamaat Tabligh? Published widely? No. Why? You want to keep secret. If you want to keep secret, it's not the truth. If you want to keep something a secret, it is not the truth. You will only convey it to your groups. Like the 6 points in Jamaat Tabligh, the 6 principles. I'm the one who have written it. No one among other Jamaat Tabligh have ever written, not even in India and Pakistan. They dare not to write it because it is not in the Quran. I just write it. I want the people in Jamaat Tabligh to speak the correct thing when they are doing the muzakara on 6 principles. But now, since my understanding has grown higher, so I've discarded the 6 principles totally. Recently, Haji Abdul Hakim asked me, what about that book which you have written? Where's the soft copy on the 6 principles? I said it's all being terminated, has been abducted or has been discarded. And we should go back to this 5 principles of Iman, of Rukun Iman, and the 6th principle of Rukun, 5 principle of Rukun Islam, and the 6th principle of Iman. That is in the Hadith. This is not in the Quran, it is in the Hadith. But at least it is in the Hadith. But the 6th principle of Jamaat Tabligh is not even in the Hadith. How could you use something which is not even in the Hadith? So, according to your level of Iman or faith towards Allah, that's the level of your understanding about the words of Allah. So, my interpretation of the meaning of the Quran, which I have written with the permission of Allah, is so far is the most truthful interpretation of the Quran. And in order to know as to whether my claim is correct, you can read it. I make it you all of the entire mankind able to read it. I don't have any reason to make it disclose, make it enclosed or kept in secret, because to me it's the truth. So I'm brave enough for everyone in the whole world to read it and complain to me if ever you find anything wrong with it. Huh? Do you find anything wrong?
No.
Do you find anything wrong? See? They were telling me, oh, only now this I know. Oh, that means they didn't know before. So the 6 pillars of Iman is the outcome, is not the action. The 5 principles of Islam is the action. When you do action, there will be outcome. When the action is good, the outcome is good. When the action is not good, the outcome is not good. So what is the main outcome, main fundamental that we need to acquire, be able to, is Iman. You know? So Rasulullah told us to make dua to Allah so that Allah give us the love towards Iman. Allahumma habib ilainal iman, you know, wa zainu fi qulubina wa karih ilainal kufra wal fusuq wal asyan wa ja'alna minar rasyidin. Is the dua, you know, which is taught by Rasulullah to us, to ask Allah to give us the love towards Iman. Allahumma habib ilainal iman. Why we should have the love towards Iman? Said that we have the love to acquire Iman. Wa zainu fi qulubina, colored my heart with the true faith in Allah. Wa karih ilaina al-kufra, make me, you know, to be taken away from kufur. Wa ja'alna minar rasyidin, make me become those who are of the pious, or the Rashidin, the best among the best. So Allah subhanahu Rasulullah told us to acquire Iman, to have love towards Iman. The reason as to why we do not want to have Iman, because we have no desire to have Iman, you know? Why we don't have the desire to have Iman? We don't have love towards Iman. Why we don't have love towards Iman? Because we have love towards money. As I told you yesterday, money is God now. No? The Hadith could say, make me your lover, make me your aim, make me your purpose, has been changed into make money to be your aim, make money to be your purpose, and make money to be your lover. If you have money, you'll have everything. You have no money, you have nothing. So instead of Allah, it has been replaced by money. So money is a modern god. Money is not ever living, it's ever dying. When Allah is ever living and ever living and existed, ever existed. When money is ever dying, money is not alive, doesn't even move, can't even talk, can't even walk. Money is just like idols. We give values to idols, similarly we give value to money. 50 RM, 100, 1000, we are the one who give value. Similarly, the idol worshippers are giving value to the idols. This is to bring rain, this is to give sun, this is to make people, you know, to have peace, so on and so forth. So the values are given by us who have created the money and the idols. Allah doesn't create idols. Is that the order of Allah to create the idols? No. Allah doesn't tell them to create the idols. They want to create the idols. Allah also do not order us to create money. Allah did not order. Allah, you can buy and sell without money. I give you a cattle, you give me a cow. You give me a hens, chicken. So when you do business like that, injustices come. A cow with a chicken. For one cow, you give me 100 chicken. They may be close to, but it cannot give great accuracy in the value. So to make things easier, create money. This one $50. With the $50 that we have, you can buy other things of values of $50. The value is given by men too. Understand? You buy food with $50. Then you have the $50, they buy food from you, then you want to buy some rings or something. Cannot buy. Because the value of the rings, gold, is $500. So that's how people, even the value of things are, men made the value too, to a certain extent, because men like it and it's scarce. When things are scarce and people want it, many people want it, and things become expensive. If something is, people do not want to have it, it becomes very cheap. That's how prices come. That's how market value is. Everyone wants lands. The land keep on decreasing in size, so the price of land is ever increasing from last time to today. Now the fishes, many type of fishes are become very expensive. Why? Because it's very scarce, not available in abundance. So they are few in number, yet many people want it, the price rises. So for that, you have your money value keep on decreasing. You used to buy with $50 many things, fish, this, that, so on, and full with basket. Now you give $40, $50, you hardly have anything. So you say, increase our wages. Okay, increase the wages. The government. Then the businessman said, okay, your wages increase, we increase the price. It's all come to the same. People are now asking for increase of wages every time, because the prices are very, very high of goods. But once the government increase the price, the businessman will increase the price of the good, and it comes back to square one. This is what is called inflation. So my dear brothers, the 5 pillars of Islam is actions, and the 6 pillars of Iman is the outcome. Nobody knows. This is very basic and fundamental, which every one of the so-called believers need to understand. So if you want to have Iman, the 6 pillars of Iman, you must do the 5 pillars of Islam. The first 5 pillars of Islam is the actions. And unfortunately, and dramatically very, very ironic, that the first pillar of Islam has no actions other than reciting it. So the first pillar of Islam, to recite the kalimah, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. That's it. No action other than that. So the second, to pray 5 times obligatory prayers to the 5 time daily prayers. Fajar salat, Zuhur salat, Asar salat, Maghrib, Isha. Then plus witir and plus tahajjud, which is not obligatory but highly recommended. So it takes so much time to perform the second order of Allah. Half an hour in Fajr. Or 15 minutes. 15 minutes for Zuhur, 15 minutes for Asar, 15 minutes for Maghrib. The total is about 45 minutes. If it is for half an hour, 5 times half an hour will be 1 hour and a half. But the first pillars of Islam only to recite what is currently understood by many and all the so-called believers, scholars in the whole world. The first orders of Allah, the first rukun Islam is only to recite the kalimah, which takes only about not even a second. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. How long is it? La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.
2 seconds
maybe 2 seconds. Compared to 1 hour and a half. And some people spend more time than that with the sunat, the non-obligatory prayer before and after the obligatory prayers. They will come and Fajar pray the sunat, waiting, and the Dhuhr 4 rakat non-obligatory prayer, and the 4 rakat of obligatory prayer, and after that 2 rakat non-obligatory prayer. At Asar, some people even do 2 rakat of non-obligatory prayer, some 4 rakat. Maghrib, there is no obligatory prayer before, but there are some who pray 2 rakat, then another 2 after obligatory. Isha, before 2 rakat and after 2 rakat. How many hours you spend for the second pillars of Islam? How many hours? It can be nearly 2 hours. But you only done 2 seconds. Is it logical or not? Logical or not? Why you don't know that it is logical before? Because you are not thinking about it. You are thinking only of money. You have no time to think about this. When you love only money, you don't love Iman, you don't love Allah. When you are thinking only about money, you are not thinking about this. So obviously illogical, so obviously redundant, so obviously, out of the mind, that the first order of Islam should be spent only 2 seconds. The second order of Islam should spend about 2 hours. Where goes wrong? Definitely is wrong. But nobody knows what else to do in the first rukun Islam other than to recite the kalimah. For thousands of years, the so-called Muslim, the whole world understand it as such. They never knew there is a right for reciting the kalimah. You have to do the job which will fulfill the right of reciting the kalimah. And that job you have to do also at least 45 minutes to 1.5 hours. What does that work? To go to the people as the Prophet have done. Proclaim the greatness of Allah. If they have not recited the kalimah, persuade them to recite the kalimah. There is no God. If they have done, if they are the person who have recited the kalimah, persuade them to obey the order of Allah. And the first order of Allah and the second order of Allah which you should persuade them to perform is to do the work of inviting people to Allah, or to do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. And the second is to perform the 5 times daily prayers in the mosque if they are men, in the house if they are women. And the work should be taken at least 45 minutes if you are a very, very busy person, to 1.5 hours in a day. And that is logical. The second order of Allah, which is to perform prayer, will take about 1 hour too. You know, if one prayer takes 15 minutes, then the third order is to fast, isn't it? In the month of Ramadan, which is 1 month. But many people do non-obligatory fast throughout the year. And then zakat in once in a year, 2.5%. But you are encouraged to do daily, to give daily sadaqah. Similarly, also you are persuaded to do, daily fasting, not daily, but most of the time. And the fifth one is to perform Hajj once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime. So from the top goes down, the duration is becoming less. The time spent is less because it is less important. The more the things is important, the more time you have to give. But not our 5 pillars of Islam, which are understood by all the so-called Muslim and scholars, which is to only recite 2 seconds. In the whole lifetime, once. That's it. And where's the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people to come, has been buried in the ground. You know, they say they ask one question: what is the hukum of doing the work of inviting the non-Muslim to recite the kalima? The answer is given by this Ustaz Zaidus. If in the whole world there is one person who do the work of inviting the non-Muslim to recite kalima, it is sufficient. The whole Muslim will not be sinful. This is what they told. Now you can hear, and this is the understanding which the so-called scholars the whole world have, that to invite the non-Muslims, it's not far to the whole Muslim men and women. No, it's not far. It's not even far. It is good, but this is not obligatory. Even if there is one person only who invite the non-Muslim to Islam, is sufficient to, the whole Muslim, the whole world will be safe from the punishment of Allah. Yeah, that's what they say. And this is utter bust. And this is utter, untruth, but has been adopted as truth by the entire so-called Muslim in the whole world since thousands of years. What a shame. What an understanding they have. And it's no wonder when the Muslims are not doing the work of inviting the non-Muslim to Islam. Nobody is doing it. Because to them, to the so-called scholars, it's good. It's only good. But it's not obligatory. It's non-obligatory. Even if there is one person who does it, it's okay. We have fulfilled the desire of Allah. We have fulfilled the desire of Allah, that Allah do not want us to invite the non-Muslim to recite the kalimah. It's only us. So that's why the Jamaat Tabligh say no dawah to the non-Muslim. We are to rectify only Muslim. And they are saying also that the work of inviting the non-Muslim is only the work of Rasul. It's not the work of prophets. Now we have to do the work of prophet, not the work of Rasul. We discard the work on inviting the non-Muslim to recite the Islam, and we concentrate on the work of Rasul, which is to make the Muslim to become rectified. And they regarded themselves having similar power as Allah, the Jamaat Tabligh, that they can rectify the so-called deviated believer. By what? By going out for 4 months, once in a lifetime, then followed by 40 days every year, 3 days every month. That's it. Go around the world and tell people to be rectified, not to invite the non-Muslim. This is not That's the work of Rasul, they say. Somebody told me that. They heard from their elders. The work of inviting the non-Muslim is the work of Rasul. But if you want to do, it's okay. You can do, but it's not obligatory. What is obligatory to us is the work of Prophet. The work of Prophet is the work on the Muslim, on the so-called Muslim, to rectify them. And that's what nonsense. It's not telling with the Quran at all. What has been said by the elders and what has been said by Azhar Idros are not at all in congruence or in line with the Quran. They don't even understand the words, the verses of the Quran. Kuntum khaira ummatin ukhrijat linnas. This is an order which is made, the order to invite people to good, forbidding people from evil, to become obligatory on all the so-called Muslim, either woman or man, sick or healthy, poor or rich, in the locality. You know? Wal takum minkum ummatu yad'una ilal khair. There should be a group of you. This who should do the work of inviting people to good and forbidding people from evil. It doesn't mean that only one group and the rest. This is the work. This is the verses which says that the work of forming groups to do the work of dawah in the whole world is obligatory for healthy men and financially sound men in the locality to go and form groups, to go out and the rest do the local work. Then others will go, the rest will do the local work. This is what it means. The local work is fard ain. The work on outside the locality, the work in the whole world, in the town and the city, is fardu kifayah. Fardu kifayah doesn't mean someone are doing the work, the rest no need to do. It's not that. It means everyone of men who, not women, men who are healthy and finally sound, should form groups at one time to go and do the work in the city, in the country, in the whole world. This is what it means. The work of inviting people to good and forbidding people is so obligatory, which the whole entire world, all this world has made, the whole entire so-called scholars in the whole world since thousands of years have understood it to be only the order which is good, not even obligatory. What a great distance of difference. What a great deviation has been made to take place in the whole so-called Muslim, the whole world. No reason. That's why it is not strange that we have no Islam at all. We are not even having Iman at all, because we are on the path of disobedience to the very first order of Allah after reciting the great kalimah. And the first order of Allah after reciting kalimah is to do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil, with the sacrifice of your wealth and time, in the way Muhammad SAW, with the intention to please Allah, until Allah is pleased with you. When Allah is pleased with you, then Allah will make the great kalimah to enter into your heart. The more you sacrifice, the more it will enter into your heart. The more you sacrifice, the more it will enter into your hearts, until you become the true believer of the good deeds and the lover of Allah. Okay.